Happy Monday, everyone. How are we doing today? Slow starting for me, but the tree people are here. The arborists. Nothing like waking up to chainsaws outside your bedroom window. Hello, everyone. How's it going today? What's up out there in YouTube land, in Snapchat land, in cyberspace? Bright and sunny here today. Happy Saturday. Football kind of, we won't say sucked, but I don't know what's wrong with, but we're not going to make any negative comments, but we sure are thinking them, aren't we? I didn't even watch it today. It was on for about 45 minutes before I started to even think about trying to find it, and somebody sent me the name of the team, and then sucks afterwards. I was like, you know what? I've had the game on every Saturday half-heartedly since the season started, but it's just going downhill and it's getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, and the entire coaching staff should be fired. Praise Jesus and let's have a pizza party and give thanks to God, but no talent, not on the team, not on the coaching staff. There ain't no rewards. There ain't nobody owed any kind of positive and reinforcement except thanks be to God for our pizza party and our football wins. There was no hard work or talent involved. Just thank God and eat your damn pizza. And you see where it's getting us. Go visit Jesus land. Go up to God's country. Smack the king of the tiger paw around a little bit and tell him that the head of the Athletic is going to eventually do to him what he did to Tommy Bowden. I don't care how many blankety blank national championships you win. If you can't get your head out of your ostrich ass, and at least act like you know what's going on with your own team and your own fucking coaching staff, then you need to find another job or just fucking retire now. Sorry. And I said I wasn't going to say anything negative. Howdy. Happy Tuesday, y'all. What y'all up to this afternoon? It's sunny and beautiful. Should we take the paddleboard out? I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I really want to bad enough. Because my stuff's not organized anymore like it used to be. Go figure. Still, if I'm going to do it, it's mid-September. I about said late September. It's mid-September, and yeah, I'm on the coast, and yeah, we're coastal island folk, but the water will not be warm forever. AKA, if I'm going to do it before the end of the year, I better do it sooner rather than later. Or buy a fat guy wetsuit. Homer Simpson with hair hits the inflatable paddleboard circuit. No, say it isn't so. Happy Sunday, everyone. How's it going? Okay, apparently that's as much as you're going to get, because I was smiling like a banshee, like my smile was going to get cut in half from the movie Clown It or something. Well, at least you can make this one smile. Sometimes you smile like a banshee and it still looks like, all right, that's not a good look at all. That you were promised, because this time it was going to be different. This time was actually going to work out. This time, to study harder, pay attention, do well in school, graduate, get a good job, move off, and anything that's dependent on that new job, good job for your rest of your life, it just does not fucking happen. We were lied to. We were deceived. Now what? I ask you with all sincerity. Now fucking what? So, try to go have yourself a happy weekend. A good weekend, if not a happy one. I'll just sit here and wait. Are we happy yet? Somebody tell me, how do we fix this? We're brainwashed from a very, very, very young age by society. And then when we wake up and realize that we might not be quite in the matrix, but we're as deceived as those people, we don't know how to fix it. The only thing I know to do is to exit the system and exit the country. But at present, I don't have the resources to do that any longer. And when I did have the resources to do it in the past, I was too complacent to realize that it might be my last chance to get the hell out of here for good. And now I'm fucking stuck here again. There's no way out. I have absolutely no options. I cannot think of a single one. Well, there are long-term options, but like every other long-term option I have been promised, the rug gets ripped out from under you at the last second, or whatever it was that was promised, like a job somewhere. It never, ever, ever materializes. So you're even further in the hole financially, effort-wise, lack of motivation-wise, lack of progress-wise, and you're X number of months or years older and X number of dollars poorer because you've been deceived again by another program that was supposed to change your life, but it didn't. You've been conned again and again and again and again and again. And what does it cost you every single time you fell for it? Potential happiness, financial resources that could have been spent elsewhere, and a level of frustration that zaps every bit of your motivation and energy that you could have possibly had because you were. Well, it's Friday, y'all. Happy Friday, to those of you out there that need to do the Friday dance, sing your Friday song, all that good stuff. I am not really feeling like singing and dancing today, so I will find a pre-recorded version of one from a previous Friday and insert it somewhere in here for you. But that's how my week has been, so I don't feel like singing and dancing just because it's Friday. So get this. Students, undergraduate students in the current era, aka today's age, viewing black and white photos, TV shows, and movies from before color was invented are asking their professors what life was like before the world was in color. Professor went and asked another class. They all thought that also. They thought the world was in black and white before it could be recorded in color. As in, look outside right now. The sun, the trees, everything was black and white. There are people that believe this. We're not talking about tech school students. We're not talking about on the military bases. We're not talking about digging ditches. We're talking about undergraduate students at universities, not community colleges, not technical colleges, not whatever they're calling the next thing out there that's not actually a top tier 1 university. But we're talking about current undergraduates at a 4-year university. How do they pass their SATs? How do they have enough common sense to graduate high school and get their driver's license and get to college? The world was in black and white when it was black and white on television and in the movies. Sure. Keep believing that. How in the hump day non-curse word are you going to survive out in the real world when you have to get a job? When you think, okay, my parents lived in the color world, but my grandparents and my great-grandparents lived in a black and white world, and they didn't know color. Just let that sink in for just a moment, would you? There's not one or two people believing that. This is the entire generation. Where did their parents go wrong? I'll just leave you to ponder that thought. So, how we doing? Y'all have a good one? It's almost Monday. Or as we say, moan and groan day, and you're in a daze, as in moan days. Oh, no. Monday-o. Mondays-o. Well, about past time to be meal prepping. About to be y'all prepping for Monday morning, going to work again, prepping. Did you have a good day? I did. It's very cool. Went on a walk, broke a sweat. Quite a sweat, actually. Got some sunset footage. Hung out with my roommate. Cool guy. He has me hooked on Dexter. Not usually my cup of tea. But oddly engaging. The show, that is. Where was I? ADHD and blonde here, you know. Well, anyway. Let's hope it's not an entire generation of people that unintelligent. Yeah, sure. Life was black and white before they invented color television. Sure. Humans couldn't see colors before then because they weren't invented yet. Sure. Keep believing that if you want to. Could you just Google it and not ask your instructors or professors or TAs or anybody else that might think you're the dumbest person on the face of the earth because you're asking this question like a dumbass? Thank you, Red Foreman from the 70s show. Excuse me, that 70s show. Dumbass. And depending on what religion they were raised in, if they were raised in one, and what geographical area in the world they were born in pretty much dictates what they would be brainwashed into at an early age. Did they think that Buddha and Jesus and Allah and whomever else is out there that you want to contribute to this conversation lived in an era where there was no color? There were only black and white? Was gray? That's a color. Black and white's a color, but was gray there? I guess grayscale. I mean, really, somebody help me compute this. How could a living being who's capable of driving and one day going to the store and buying alcohol or going downtown with a fake ID and drinking and studying for exams and finding their way back to their dorm room at night, how can they possibly believe this? Is this how those cults with red hats prey on people? People are so uneducated and intellectually incurious that they don't know that color out in the real world wasn't invented at the same time that color television was, and that they just don't understand what they're talking about, nor what they believe. I mean, really, what the blankety blank is wrong with these people? Grandma did not raise her entire family in black and white just to have color thrown on them by Sherwin-Williams at the advent or invention of color television. Really? Really? So today's youth, they've seen black and white photos and they've seen black and white film, and they think life was black and white before the advent of color television. No, I am not kidding. I shit you not. The students of today, the millennials plus 20 years younger, they think that we lived in black and white reality before color television was invented. I'm gonna need you to take a minute and let that sink in. So, turns out what these students meant. And yeah, I thought this was a prank. The students meant what was life like back in the black and white era. Yeah, I'm gonna take a minute for you to let your brain comprehend that. Compute. All right, rein it in. Come back to me. What? Say what? Jack McFarlane says, "Homo say what? Homo say quoi?" What is that? Did you mean again? What did you ask me? Good Sunday morning, everyone. How are we doing today? We're surviving the weekend. Hope your Saturday was grand. Hope your Saturday night was fun. Not too much fun, or your Saturday morning might have been a little less fun, right? We all know that routine. We'll just call it a routine. Well, looks like it's going to be a sunny afternoon. Hopefully no thunderstorms. Maybe they've all rolled through. Have fun out there, everybody. Happy Sunday. Good afternoon, everyone. How is your Saturdays shaping up? The drizzle has stopped momentarily, But it's still kind of wet and humid and muggy out. Sort of limits what we can do today, I suppose. Maybe I should start thinking outside the box. Or thinking outside the duplex is more like it. Well, happy Saturday, y'all. Have a good one. Enjoy. Happy Friday, everyone. We made it. It's Friday. Never mind thunderstorms today, tomorrow, Sunday. So that would be all weekend long. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Thunderstorms. Is this tropical storm related, or is this just the time of the year with the Atlantic, whatever? Or is it some other front coming through? That's entirely possible, right? Something else coming through. Anyway, happy Friday, y'all. Enjoy your day. Happy Thursday, everyone. We've almost made it to Friday, and you know what that means. After Friday, it's the weekend. How is your Thursday shaping up? Were you ready to tackle the day? I know I wasn't. I sat at the computer and checked accounts and paid bills and edited letters and sent some correspondence, both electronically and ones that require a stamp and walking somewhere, etc. at all. Not a bad Thursday, though. And then about 3.5 hours worth of yard work. It never ends in the summer in the South. Especially with all this tropical storm weather we've been having, it gives the weeds plenty of fuel. That's how I feel right now. My late father used to say, you can't count on anyone else in this world but yourself. So you better get used to it at an early age. Nobody's coming to save you. Hello, everyone. Did we survive our hump day? Yard work about got me. I detest yard work. Detest it. I never, ever, ever want to own anything with a yard ever again. Boat work is so much better than yard work. Sometimes more difficult, a lot of times more expensive. Not counting equipment for yard work, mind you, but still. I'd rather be cleaning the outside of the boat or even scrubbing the bottom of it than doing this damn yard work. Fucking weeds, thorns, greenish mildew on the side of the building. I miss being at anchor. On that happy note, this bundle of sunshine is going to sign off. Are we having a good Tuesday so far? Is the jury still out on that? What's the verdict? It just clicked over to noon. So happy or good afternoon, everyone. Well, I guess technically it's exactly noon, so it's not afternoon yet. Semantics, right? I never, ever, ever thought about that before, to my recollection anyway. Be safe out there, y'all. The world is a crazy, hyped up place. Hello. How are you today? How are we all doing? It's Tuesday. Not only did you survive your weekend, your Sunday night planning for the week, food prep, journal or diarying. I can't say that. How about diary or journaling? Better. So much for being smooth, right? No smooth operators here today. And this is an example of why I have given up carbs and sugars for the most part. I do have my weak moments, but I don't want to look like this. Of course, I'd have more wrinkles than this, but I guess if you gain a lot of it, it flushes out your wrinkles. Is that why when we lose a lot of weight, we look all wrinkly and old? Could be, but I never know. Yes, we do. I don't know what I'm talking about today. It's more or less a nutritional and biological and phys ed science fact. Right? We are mostly what we eat. And a lot of it. Well, everybody, we made it to Tuesday. Right at midday. How are we doing? Are we having blessed existences out there? Are we doing phenomenally well? What motivation do you need from me to make it happen? I'm going to pretend to be one of those ATMs from back in the 90s. Have a great day. Have a great day. Thank you for banking with us. Have a great day. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of your day. I don't know where that came from. This is the pre-coffee ADHD blonde ramblings of a Davey Wavey for you. Good morning, everyone. How are we doing out there today? It's another beautiful, bright, and sunny day. Or in between our tropical depression, tropical storm, hurricane of the week, of the day alerts. Just so you know, we typically during hurricane season, we normally don't get anything until the end of September, early October. So for everybody jumping up and down and pitching a fit, yes, we could have a hurricane. But in the 9 years that I've been here, and in the 22, 23 years my sister's been here, we've learned June begins hurricane season, but we don't really have to pay too much attention to it till September, late September. But now hurricanes for Halloween and Thanksgiving, that's the thing. I mean, when it's fall, y'all, duck and cover or run on that e-bike as fast as you can. Spoiler alert, hurricanes move fast or slow depending on. The funding for that was canceled by the current administration. Coming soon, armed guards with their face covered on your street corner, telling you when you can and cannot leave your home. Yep, I'm a bundle of sunshine about that topic. We need to get them out while we can. Meanwhile, everybody's going on like life is normal, but it's about as abnormal as it's been in this country in a long time. There's only a couple of times in the history of our entire nation it's been this effed up. You want to tell me in the comments when those times were? I'll give you a hint. It was not during our lifetimes. And it's not during any person alive's lifetime, except for there might be a few people that are really, 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 how shall we say, fortunate in their longevity. Anyway, tell me in the comments what you think. I had no idea I was going to do this. This is the random tangents of an ADHD blonde guy. Happy Sunday evening, y'all. Did everybody survive the monsoon season we had today with the bumper thumpers and the flash photography outside and everything else? I managed to get a little bit of a walk in. And with my new friend and roommate, Ryan. Great company. Anyway, it was a most pleasant surprise. Unexpected pleasantry, unexpected surprise. Oh, I can't even talk anymore. Happy Saturday, y'all. Hope y'all are getting a little bit better weather than we are. It is torrential downpour and monsoon flooding out there today. And we're all getting behind with our yard work because it's been like a couple of weeks of this every single day. I think we have only had maybe 1 or 2 days in the last 3 weeks where it's not done this at least once per day. Oh well, could always be worse. Good afternoon, all y'all. How'd your Sunday fun day treating you? It's kind of quiet this afternoon in small town, southern coastal, yada yada yada. At least it is over this way. What y'all been up to? Hopefully nothing nefarious. But I don't doubt there'll be some shenanigans going on today or maybe later on this evening. Those people who are not prepping for their meal plans for the whole week are undoubtedly finding other ways to amuse themselves on Sunday. Fun day. Sunday prep for the rest of the weekday. What about you? What's going on out there? Where are you hiding? What are you up to? Talk to me. Sunday afternoon. Was raining, now just overcast. What is there to do in a small southern town? Coastal USA, Eastern Seaboard, blah, blah, blah. How'd y'all sleep last night? I went to bed just after midnight. Slept through a bunch of alarms. I must have needed it, right? I'm still trying to wake up. I've been awake for hours, physically. But mentally, like, wake up, Davey Wavey. Wake up. The hamster's on the wheel, but he ain't engaged. Good Saturday afternoon, everyone. How are we doing? Who's out there enjoying water sports in the drizzle? Who's out there enjoying their sun sports in the overcast, gloomy weather? I only ask that because there's only so many weekends between now, the second weekend in August, and school starting. We all know that the entire universe revolves around when school starts, whether you are related directly to anyone with children of school age commitments to school or not. For example, tourism drops off a cliff when school starts back. So if you're a gig worker, app worker, driving person, eBay person, Etsy person, everything just goes grinds to a halt mid-August. Brief reprieve around the holidays, but not much. Now I'm thinking, where was I going with this? Why are we talking about this? Who's out there not wasting one of the last weekends before school starts? Even though the weather's it could be crappier, but we all know it could be nicer. And it's every dang day of the week. If we don't have a torrential monsoon-style thunderstorm, it at least torrential downpours for 4 to 6 minutes and makes it so humid with flash flooding everywhere you can't really do anything or enjoy anything outside. You go out to walk, it's like a humidity asthma attack because the air is so thick and sticky and hot and humid and have a great weekend, y'all. So here's what I want to know. If there is an epidemic in male loneliness, a lack of true brotherhood, which existed in prior generations and seemingly is existing in younger generations until they get out in the real world and it beats it out of them. Society, the country we live in, doesn't matter. Gay, straight, bi, try anything, don't try anything. It doesn't matter. Straight guys have friends in college. They get married. Her friends become his friends. He loses touch with all of his friends. Next thing you know, he's in the middle of a divorce and a custody battle for his children. He has no friends of his own. He has no guy friends unless he spends his every waking hour on the internet and playing video games with his childhood best friends, all grown up, all about to be divorced by their wives for the same reason. Then he ain't got no friends. Gay people. For some reason, most gay guys cannot be friends. It depends on the type of gay person you are, but there's a bunch of different reasons for that, and it's not what you might think. We generally don't get along. I get along with straight guys and lesbians the best. I've said it my whole life. Having said that, I'm not one of the guys. I'm not treated as one of the guys by the straight crowd. I'm gay. I'm not bisexual. So the bisexual guys, they only want to be friends with other bisexual guys who have wives and children or are divorced, etc. So I'm not one of their guys either. And I'm not one of the girls. And I'm not treated as one of the girls. And so all of my straight girls that are friends of mine, it's just, you would think women would know about double standards in the workplace, in the households, in leadership positions, both religious organizations and politics aside. But when it comes to reverse discrimination, they just don't see it. So I'm left with straight guys I get along with, but I'm not treated one of the guys. I don't ever get invited fishing when they go or camping. They go, I go, we all go separately. It's just the weirdest thing being excluded. And then lesbians, well, I guess there's absolutely no sexual tension between me and a lesbian, so that might be why we get along so well. Nobody has their guard up. Nobody's pretending to be anything else. My point is, how in the hell are you supposed to maintain friendships, much less find new friends, if you move to another place? This is the one that was kind of intriguing me. On a large screen, those would be huge creases and wrinkles. What a day this has been. You ever do a lot, but get very little accomplished? At least in the short term. Hello. Happy Wednesday evening. How's everybody doing out there in La La Land? Are we ready for some slumber time? Slumber no lumber time? The lag on this app, if you wonder what I was doing, the lag is just... What can you do? Happy hump day. Evening, y'all. Hello. Happy Wednesday evening. How's everybody doing out there in La La Land? Are we ready for some slumber time? Slumber no lumber time? The lag on this app, if you wonder what I was doing, the lag is just, what can you do? Happy hump day. Evening, y'all. Good evening, everyone. Did we survive hump day? I worked out in the yard. I cut a little grass. I planted some Lowe's clearance plants finally and watered them. Even though we were supposed to have a storm tonight, but I'm not going to say I'm sorry we didn't, because I decided to walk downtown around the wide loop, like all the way around to the historic district. I was doing it for exercise, but I kept stopping to take photos and videos, so I got my steps in, but it wasn't at a brisk pace, if you will. Now, what I want to say is, then I came back here, took a cool shower, because there's no such thing as a cold shower unless you have your own personal chiller this time of year here, and had words with people from the internet. Angry face does not work with this one. And you have to smile like a hyena to get it to register a smile. But I suppose it's worth it. Anyway, those internet folks. Sometimes, especially when you're multitasking and they catch you on the periphery and you don't have your guard up. Somebody once said, I have no doubt Davey Wavey will tell you exactly what he thinks. Care to test me on that? Happy Wednesday, everyone. Still bright and sunny out. Not quite storm weather yet. I'm sure the lightning, thundering, grumbling, and monsoon conditions will return soon. I suppose I could check the weather radar. That might be smart. All right. Will it be 10 minutes of yard work or an hour and a half of yard work? We don't know, but we got to go do something. Weeds and bugs and everything else. Enjoy your hump day. Happy Sunday, y'all. Thunderstorms all night here. What will today bring? It's kind of overcast out there. It's neither rainy nor sunny. Of course, we waited too late to go out and about yesterday, and there were thunder bumpers for the rest of the night. Maybe we'll try to go out earlier today, since it's not like all sunny and heat stroke, heat advisory, or it doesn't appear to be today anyway. I'm sure it's still hot and humid out there. Hot and humid. Welcome to the slow country, low country. What are your thoughts as we prepare for a new week? A new Monday. Mondeo. Who has moan days, as in unidays all of Monday? Well, enjoy your Sunday. Get ready to take on the week. It is hot and humid And did I say or mention it might be a little warm outside? Welcome to August. Southern coastal islands. Seriously, we had a heat advisory the whole last week. I suppose it's over with right now. But like everything else in life, it shall return. Happy weekend, everybody. Incidentally, though, thank you, Insomnia. It has reminded me that I have forgotten just how Robert Guillaume could sing. That's going to send me down a rabbit hole. I wish I had seen him as Phantom of the Opera. But I guess YouTube and Benson reruns will just have to do. I could find some sports night clips that he's in because that was after his stroke. And we were all very happy to see him back on the show. It's hard to believe he's been gone so long now. On that happy note, I hope everyone else is out there asleep in some slumberland. Slumberland, let me say that again. Slumberland. Alrighty, enough blonde, insomniac, ADHD ranting from me. Pleasant dreams, y'all. Back to Benson. Oh, he is singing Oh Holy Night in this episode. If I could ever sing like that. My forte is more low. I can't sing right now. And I'm not standing up, but low bass. Low. I can't do it right now. Anyway. If I should stop yelling at the chat GPT, I might be able to sing again. Okay, seriously. Good night, y'all. Actually, good morning, y'all. But the sun's not up yet. But good night. Mm-hmm.